Saints fans, here is how you turn on your YouTube notifications. First of all, you're going to go to the Settings app, scroll down, type YouTube, tap Notifications, turn on Allow Notifications, and then, even better, you want to shout out? Go down, type Noti Gang down in the comments section. What's going on, Who Dat Nation? I am Will Scott. Welcome into Saints Now. We're going to be breaking down some Saints rumors on today's show. A lot of safety talk, and so we're going to start with Daniel Sorensen, one of the newest members of the Saints. Played the first 8 seasons of his career in Kansas City, was signed about 2 months before the Tyrann Mathieu deal. Had 18 starts, 32 appearances for KC the last 2 seasons, but the Saints are very, very loaded in the secondary, which makes Sorensen a potential cut candidate. When you look at the current Saints depth chart, you have Marcus Maye as well. So you have 3 new safeties, and even 4 if you include Smoke Monday as well. So Marcus Maye, Tyrann Mathieu, Smoke Monday, Daniel Sorensen, all new members of this team. Now, you do have Marcus Maye recovering from a torn Achilles. It's unclear if he's going to be ready by week 1. So that means Sorensen could compete for a roster spot earlier in the season, keep a roster spot earlier in the season. Not to mention, Maye is also coming off of a potential DUI suspension by, let's say week 3 or 4. He's going to be coming back from that. So that has not been confirmed yet if he's going to be suspended. We have no decision yet from the NFL, but it could be a 1 to 2 game suspension for Marcus Maye's DUI charge, which came about a year ago. Here's what Bleacher Report said about Sorensen. He could still wind up making the team as a special teams ace, but he's reliable in coverage. Last season, he gave up a passer rating of 132.9, which was even worse than the 100.7 that he surrendered in 2020. With that, we bring in producer Trace onto the program. Trace, kind of your thoughts on Sorensen and if he's going to make this team.
Hey guys, first of all, again, hi. I missed everyone. It's been a while. But yeah, so Will, to kind of go off of what you were saying, I liked the move. I can't even say I liked it. I was understanding of the move at first. Obviously we didn't have Tyrann Mathieu yet. Marcus Maye was like one of the first signs that we had for free agency. So, we had him. We had JT Gray. We had all these, CJ Gardner-Johnson. We still have safety talent and stuff. I thought Dan Sorensen was a good piece to bring in terms of depth and veteran depth. He knows how to win. He was on a Super Bowl winning team. He knows how to win late in the season. He also does have some good special teams value, but the dude's an absolute liability when it comes to safety. And so now that we have this new bolstered and very talented safety group, I also think that, it's not too bad to lose him. It's not going to be too much money if we cut him and stuff. And plus, I'm really interested to see what Smoke Monday has to offer.
What does he have to offer, Trace? I mean, you're talking about a UDFA. He was expected to get drafted sometime during day 3. He didn't, so somewhat of a steal for the Saints getting him as an undrafted free agent. And I think he's someone that we're both really excited about.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And at his time at Auburn, he was just absolutely phenomenal. I mean, he's a wrecker. He's very talented. He's very aggressive when he goes to get the ball, and he is one of those guys who likes to go and make plays. He isn't going to spend too much time, moving around trying to read the thing. He's going to see it and go. He's going to make the play, and he's going to, sometimes it misses. Unfortunately, that happens in football. But, I also think that with that, you bring in a lot of, potential in terms of what he could do under Tyrann Mathieu, what he could learn, what he could, how he could grow and everything. And so that's why I want to, tease the idea of maybe we cut Dan Sorensen. We don't really need him, I think that Smoke Monday could really fill in that role. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think if you keep Sorensen on this team, and that makes Monday a cut candidate or either a practice squad member, then that would certainly be an argument for cutting Sorensen. Let me ask you, Saints fans, will Dan Sorensen make the roster? Type Y for yes or type N for no down in the comments section. It's the pinned comment on today's video. When an ad break comes, go down, let us know what you think. Type your Y for yes or your N for no down in the comments section.
Hey, and one more note I completely forgot to mention was that actually on the ESPN roster projection, I believe Mike Triplett did it. He actually had Smoke Monday not making the final 53-man roster and Dan Sorensen making it, which I thought was a little bit interesting. So, in my opinion, flip the two.
Right.
That's just me.
Well, the ESPN roster projection felt like for every team they had no UDFAs making the team, which is just unrealistic. I don't think they put a whole lot of effort into some of their roster projections. Let's get into the financials because he really didn't agree, Sorensen, to that big of a contract. He agreed to a one-year, $1.27 million deal, only $500,000 guaranteed, so the team would be taking on $500,000 in dead money if Sorensen were to be cut. Here's what he did in Kansas City the past 4 seasons. Of course, he's an 8-year veteran, so this has been the second half of his career, kind of these last 4 seasons. So a decent player, but I agree with Trace when you're talking about somewhat of a liability at the safety position because look at his coverage stats. I mean, my goodness, not great. 72.1% last season in terms of receptions allowed. 522 yards, 6 touchdowns, 43 targets. So not ideal when you're talking about Sorensen, and he may be somewhat of a liability on defense. So you look at that, you look at the fact that the team wouldn't be taking on a whole lot of dead money, and then you look at Smoke Monday. I think those are 3 reasons to maybe cut Sorensen loose by the start of the season, Trace.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more because I also think that with those coverage stats, we remember some of the headaches that Tyrann Mathieu had in the postseason with Daniel Sorensen. So, like I said, I don't think that he is a horrible player. I don't think that he is one of those super valuable players either. I think that he's going to, we've seen what he can do. I think that we haven't seen what Smoke Monday can do in the NFL. I'm very curious. I mean, 44 tackles, 9 tackles for a loss, 5 pass breakups and an interception in a very competitive SEC is pretty impressive. And Auburn was kind of on a down year in the sense of they weren't, the top 5 teams in the SEC like you would traditionally think they would be. But I also think that Smoke Monday was a big part of that defense. And one big thing for me that I feel like you cannot forget about is our boy, CD. I mean, you cannot forget about the menace, dude.
Yes, sir.
Hey, he's a nickelback. He's a safety. He plays defense. He gets interceptions against Tom Brady. I don't know what he does, but he does it well, and he's the best at it. And so, I mean, bye, Dan. Get out of here. Get out. I don't need you.
I can tell where producer Trace is leaning here on the Dan Sorensen conversation. I mean, the good news, Trace, is it's a good thing to have that much depth, right? They don't really need a veteran like Sorensen on the roster. Might be good to get some younger guys some reps. Now go down, rank the Saints defense 1 to 32. Go down in the comments section. Let us know what you think. I think this is definitely a top 10 defense, maybe even top 5. This is a top tier shirt combo that we're giving you here on Saints Now. This 2 t-shirt combo, 40% off. You can get it at chatsports.com/Saints t-shirt. That's the link right there. That link is going to be in the comments and the description, and this deal's not going to last for long. Go down and take advantage of it right now. Again, chatsports.com/Saints t-shirt. Let's talk about some safety options the Saints can go out and get if Sorensen is cut. Some trade options, some free agents available as well. We begin with Smoke Monday. He is on the roster, so wouldn't have to go far to replace Sorensen if you just give Smoke Monday a roster spot, and that's what I tend to prefer. If you don't let Sorensen onto this team, I would rather have Smoke Monday on this team than maybe going out trading or signing a guy. But Chuck Clark is a guy that has been in trade rumors with the Ravens. A lot of people think that he could get moved before the start of the season. Maybe the Saints a potential fit, as well as Jessie Bates. Jessie Bates is one of the best players in the entire league that has been in trade rumors as of late. Was fantastic for the Bengals down the stretch last season. They don't make the Super Bowl without Bates. Now, pick one. Is it Chuck Clark or is it Jessie Bates? Pick one to trade for. Type CC for Clark or type JB for Bates down in the comment section. Surprisingly, Landon Collins is still out there and available in free agency, as well as Jason McCourty. He spent last season with the Dolphins. He's not going to be returning to the Dolphins. So some decent options available in either a trade or free agency, but maybe the best option is Smoke Monday, Trace.
Yeah, I think that you looking at these options right here, Jessie Bates is very talented. I think that he did some really good things with the Bengals last season. I mean, he's integral, excuse me, that's the right word, in getting the Bengals to the Super Bowl. I mean, he was a key component of that Bengals defense last season. Chuck Clark, obviously very talented. I mean, he's somebody who you could get. Probably not going to be super, super cheap, unfortunately. But I also think that, we have Tyrann Mathieu, we have Marcus Maye. I wouldn't personally trade for anybody.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if you feel really good about your safety room, I don't know if it makes sense to trade for Bates. It might take a first-round pick to get Bates.
Exactly.
Not only that, you're going to have to pay Bates after you trade for him, right? Because the reason he might get traded is because the Bengals haven't given him an extension.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then that's where it takes me to and Jessie Bates also, Rick, refuses to play on the franchise tag, and the Bengals are trying to get him to do that. And so that is a whole thing, and I don't even want to touch.
The deadline for that's Friday, by the way.
I don't even want to touch that.
Yeah.
But with Landon Collins and Jason McCourty, I'm sitting there talking with Will while we're putting this video together, and I'm thinking, who are just some safety, free agent targets available? And then I look down the list, and these are kind of the most notable names. There's nobody really that appealing or that attractive. Obviously roster cuts are going to start happening here in the next few weeks, and as training camps start progressing. So, in a few weeks, maybe this is a different list. Maybe we revisit this, but I also, the defensive backs are the strongest part of the Saints defense, in my opinion. I think that is, this secondary is just loaded, and I think it would be kind of silly to, stray away from that, in my
agree.
opinion.
I think let Smoke Monday make this team, give him a chance to make the roster. I want to see what he can do. Now, shout out to the real ones. We appreciate you. Haram Dunaway Jr., Savage 24, Houdat, Saints Highlights, Ken Fox, Latrell, Starks. Appreciate all the real ones. Go down, type real one for a shout out to get a shout out on a future show. All these people turned on their notifications, I believe, as well, and typed real one. So if you want a shout out just like these loyal Saints subscribers, type real one down in the comment section.
Guys, it was a pleasure seeing you. I'll catch you next week.
Who dat?